Now, let us go to the problems. So, the first problem says find limits as x goes to plus infinity or x goes to minus infinity of f of x equal to 3 minus 2 by x divided by 4 plus square root 2 by x square. So, as you see intuitively, when x goes to infinity, 1 by x goes to 0. So, with the algebra of limits, all those algebra of limit laws hold also for limits at infinity. So, this factor becomes 0, this also becomes 0. So, finally, it should give 3 by 4, and that is what we write. Limit x goes to infinity 3 minus 2 by x by 4 divided by root 2 by x square, that gives you 3 by 4. If you use the earlier idea, you may write it as limit x goes to 0 plus f of 1 by x. So, f of 1 by x will be 3 minus 2 x divided by 4 plus root 2 x. Now, when x goes to 0 plus, directly it gives 3 divided by 4, because this becomes 0, this becomes 0. So, this expression is still valid, right, with this. That is how you can see the earlier comment. Okay, so, what about x goes to minus infinity? Again it is similar, x goes to minus infinity, because this would give you limit x goes to 0 minus and 3 minus 2 x divided by 4 plus root 2 x square. So, that also makes it 0, and you get 3 by 4. That is easy. Okay, let us take second problem. It asks to compute the limit x goes to minus infinity of cosine x divided by 3x. See here, when x goes to minus infinity, this denominator goes really to minus infinity, right. 3 times minus infinity goes to minus infinity. On the top we do not have anything, it is cosine x. Cosine x will not have a limit at x goes to infinity, because it can oscillate taking multiples of pi. Depending on what kind of multiples of pi, you will get different values, right, 0 to 1. Of course, everything between 0 to 1 can come, even minus 1 also can come. So, they will vary from minus 1 to 1. Well, that may help. So, since cos x is bounded by minus 1 to 1, you can have an estimate for this and then finish it. Okay. So, that is what let us see. Say minus 1 to 1, cos x is always bounded. So, suppose x goes to minus infinity, then what happens to 3x? If you take x to be negative, then this will change the inequalities, right. If x is negative, then 1 by 3x is also negative. So, minus 1 times 1 by 3x will become positive. This will be greater than or equal to cosine x into 1 by 3x will be greater than or equal to 1 by 3x for x negative. If x is positive, of course, this inequality is correct, but we are interested in x goes to minus infinity. So, we would say that for x less than 0, these inequalities now will be replaced by greater than or equal to. Is that right? So, we will have minus 1 by 3x greater than or equal to this, greater than or equal to 1 by 3x for x is less than 0. Then of course, you apply sandwich theorem to get this goes to 0, this goes to 0, you get cosine x by 3x equal to 0. Now, what happens x goes to infinity? In that case, again this inequality will be correct. X goes to infinity will give you this inequality, and again that will also become equal to 0. In fact, you can do both the things at a time by taking absolute value of cosine x by 3x. That is also another approach. Okay. So, let us take another problem. This says evaluate limit x goes to infinity 2 minus x plus sin x divided by x plus cosine x. Now, look at this whether this is alright. Cosine x can vary between minus 1 to 1, but x can be very large. So, x plus cosine x can vary between x minus 1 to x plus 1, that is also large. So, this makes sense, it is not going to 0 of course, it is becoming very large. On the top similarly, it is becomes very large also, minus x plus sin x, but in the negative direction, right, minus x will dominate sin x. So, it will be behaving just like minus x. So, that means it is minus infinity on the top and infinity on the bottom. That may happen to be minus 1, that can be minus something, right, that can be 0, it can be anything, but it can't be positive, right, that is what it says initially. When you just inspect it, it looks something like that. Okay, let us see how to proceed. What do? We now use our sin x by x, cosine x by x, which we know already, x goes to infinity. So, we divide by x, that gives us 2 by x on the top, this becomes minus 1 plus sin x by x, and the down we have 1 and then cos x by x. Now, what about limits of sin x by x and cos x by x? Already we have computed them to be 0 at x goes to infinity, and 2 by x also goes to 0. So, all that remains is minus 1 to 1 and you get minus 1 and this is 1. So, this becomes minus 1 equal to minus 1. That is what our guess was there, right. So, because this becomes 0, this also goes to 0, this also goes to 0, all that remains is minus 1 to 1 and we have limit as minus 1. Okay. Now, this is minus 1. Let us go to the second problem. It says find limit x goes to infinity, x to the power 8 by 5 plus 3x plus square root of x divided by 2 times x to the power 5 by 3 minus x to the power 1 by 3 plus 7. So, how do we go? So, it is something like limit x to the power 2 divided by x to the power 1. If this happens, is limit, then we would say that x cancels and we have limit of x, that should be infinity. So, that means if you have a rational function, it is not really rational, but some square root is there, but that is okay. Then we have to find out what is the biggest power of x. On the top it is happening or in the bottom it is happening. If it is on the top, then it would go to infinity. If it is on the bottom, it would go to 0. That is our usual notion by inspection. Okay, so, which one is bigger, 8 by 5 or 5 by 3? Of course, we will justify it, but we are just having a guesswork now. So, if you see, it is which one is bigger, 8 by 5 or 5 by 3? So, if you multiply by 15, this would give left side 24, right side would give you 25. So, this is what happening. Then the downside should dominate, and let us try to see what happens. So, we divide by x to the power 8 by 5, let us say. One of them we can divide, we could have divided by 5 by 3 also, both the things, to have an alternative way. So, divide the numerator and denominator by x to the power 8 by 5. Now, it gives 8 by 5, x to the power 8 by 5 becomes 1, and this is x to the power 1 minus 8 by 5, that is x to the power minus 3 by 5, which you write 3 divided by x to the power 3 by 5. This is x to the power half. So, half minus 8 by 5, that would be minus 11 by 10. So, 1 divided by x to the power 11 by 10. Next one is 5 by 3 is bigger. So, it should be 25 minus 20%, 1 by 15. 5 by 3 minus 8 by 5, this is 1 by 15. And this is 1 by 3 minus 8 by 5, that would give 17 by 15. And this is of course minus 8 by 5 or 7 by x to the power 8 by 5. This is 1 by 3 minus 8 by 5. So, this is minus 17 by 15, 1 divided by x to the power 17 by 15. Okay. So, now we can take limit, because once the bigger ones are there, this would go to 0, this factor also would go to 0, this factor also goes to 0, this also goes to 0. So, now 1 divided by 2 to the power x to the power 1 by 15. It is something like constant half times 1 by x to the power 1 by 15. So, when x goes to infinity, x becomes larger, x to the power 1 by 15, 1 divided by, so this becomes larger. So, 1 divided by that becomes smaller, that goes to 0. So, answer should be 0. Is that right? That is how it goes whenever it is some powers of x divided by some other powers of x, we can follow this way. Okay, we will take another slightly different type. Suppose f x and g x are polynomials in x. So, that means they would look like a 0 plus a 1 x plus a 2 x square and so on, and a m x to the power m, something like f x equal to a 0 plus a 1 x plus a m x to the power m. And we have g x is also a polynomial, where it is also a polynomial in x, that may look something like b 0 plus b 1 x plus b n x to the power n. We do not know whether m n are connected or not. That is how it looks. So, f x by g x would look something like this, and it is given that limit of f x by g x s goes to infinity equal to 2. So, suppose m is smaller than n, then if you divide x to the power m, the top ones becomes a 1 x to the power 1 minus m. So, if m is bigger than 1, then everything goes to 0 except the last one remains, right. So, there is no x to the power m, it becomes a m, that is the limit of x goes to infinity when you divide by x to the power m, and x to the power m is divided here. So, up to mth, say m is smaller than n. So, that will give some b m here, and but the other ones x will remain. So, that becomes infinity. Okay. Then f x by g x would go to 0. So, that is if m is smaller than n, then this limit will become 0, and if m is bigger than n, then similarly the limit will become infinity, because some x will remain on the numerator, denominator will be constant after you divide x to the power m. But it is given that it is something which is non-zero and a real number, this limit exists, right. So, this equal to infinity idea will not come now, we will talk about that later, but it is given that f x by g x equal to 2. So, if m is smaller than n, it would become 0. So, m cannot be smaller. If m is bigger than n, then by dividing it will be something by 0, that also limit does not exist. So, what we have is limit exists and it is non-zero, therefore, m must be equal to n, that is the first argument we find, right. So, if that is what we say, the polynomials must be of the same degree. So, once m equal to n, then one is to divide x to the power n, everything becomes 0 except the last two. So, you would get a n by b n, that is how it will look, right, and x gets cancelled, all the other x will have divided by x, which will go to 0 when x goes to infinity. So, you must have a n by b n equal to 2, that is what the condition says. So, what can we say about x goes to minus infinity f x by g x? So, similar thing will happen when x goes to minus infinity, all the things will go to 0 after division by x to the power n, but the last two will remain a n by b n, that is a constant, again that will be equal to 2, that is what we write, it should be equal to 2 also. Okay. You can also try substituting x equal to minus x, and then minus 1 to the power n will be on the top, minus 1 to the power n will be on the bottom, they will cancel and you get again a n by b n, which is equal to 2. That is also an alternative way of doing it. So, let us stop here.